and I'll try to keep it short. So first of all, good afternoon to all, and thank you for being resistant and being still here. Rosa was saying expert in human behavior using energy. Okay, what this is about energy demand flexibility in agriculture. Basically, I like to study how humans use energy, and I like to bring along engineering and social sciences perspectives together. So, and this fits into agriculture because I'm professor here at Agriculture College. This was the place where I was able to join my interests, the context, and this work. So everyone by now already knows what is flexibility about and why do we need it. So I will pass these slides very, very quickly. For those that don't know, these are the increasing numbers of flexibility till 2030, and this is an estimative from the European regulator. So basically we need to more than double flexibility needs. This from a perspective of the grid. But today I bring you the AgriFLEX project. Tomorrow morning, for those that will come, you will be able to see in place where we have, what do we have put in place. But basically, in AgriFLEX project, the goal was not so much as my previous colleagues to study the influence of agrivoltaics and how plants react with shadow and so on. Well, we are doing that, but the focus and the motives were flexibility and how could we, what were the challenges of having flexibility and agrivoltaics in agriculture. Having that, let's study the agronomic things, but the perspective here was more develop agrivoltaic solutions from a practice approach. If we were farmers, Barry, last week in Dublin we discussed bringing to research the perspective of farmers, and here in this project we brought the perspective of farmers. So basically we aim to develop solutions for greenhouses and small fruit farms from a perspective of a farmer, to develop energy management solutions because I come from the sustainable energy system research, which means that I have embedded all the thinking of the energy management challenge, and also to explore how could farmers develop and make the most out of flexibility services, and of course bringing knowledge to society because we are in a school. Basically we have 13 partners, from universities to companies to farmers and associations. There are a lot of partners going on. And when we began this project 2 years ago, the aim was to have a pilot on the greenhouses here at this college, and another pilot in Viseu, northeast from here, led by the regional governmental agency. This was the goal. The system here is much complex. Tomorrow you'll see, we are in an organic production system in which we have horticulture, arable crops, sheep, rabbit, chickens, pigs. We have already storage, we have PV on roofs, we have mini generation injecting into the grid, so it's a kind of complex system. And basically we aimed at 2 pilots and we are developing 3. The first one, greenhouse, the assumption was, okay, in Portugal we have not glass greenhouses such as in the Netherlands, but plastic curvy greenhouses mostly. How could farmers have and implement a PV greenhouse with low cost? And so we end up with a solution in which you have flexible panels in a chest, with a chest shadow inside the greenhouse, and we have 2 greenhouses, one for testing, another for control. The second pilot that we implemented here is a raspberry installation inspired by Babrich pilot from the Netherlands that Otto and Lina showed this morning. So we saw the pilot there, and we just built 2 lines of 10 meters each that with semi-transparent bifacial photovoltaic panels. And then we have the blueberries pilot in Viseu, which unfortunately is delayed. Why? Because of licensing issues. So this is a challenge for those of you, Eric and Anna, which are studying how land evolves and what are the challenges. In this case, we are facing licensing issues. Why? Because the pilot is seen in the landscape from an historical protected area, which means that the pilot could not be built there. So this thing is still being overcome, and so we have, at this moment, the pilot is not yet built, and 2 years have passed. So this is how hard it is to overcome this. I decided should I bring or not these kind of pictures, which shows basically the timing of building this. So we developed the greenhouse from the scratch, and also the Raspberries PV pilot. And it took almost 1 year to build the greenhouse pilot and 6 months to build the Raspberry. Why? Because of weather conditions, the partner time, etc. But it took time. And another thing that I wanted to put here, it was the communication, PV, control, digitalization infrastructures that we are nearly almost not speaking about, but this is essential. And in rural areas and in agriculture, this is lacking. We need proper infrastructure, proper connection. I was saying to the DSO, someone from the DSO is today in the room, and I was saying to him that we are still today facing electricity quality service issues, which means that my inverters are shutting off every day. And this is an issue. If I want to have PVs and agrivoltaics, if I'm obliged to be connected to the grid, I need to be supplied with good quality electricity supply. And I don't have it. Why? Because although we are in the left margin of Mondego River, we are in a rural area. Professor Martins is down there laughing. Yeah, this is true. From practice to research, we have also been monitoring and controlling a lot of agronomic variables, meteorological variables, soil variables, and energy as well, with solutions that are commercial, others that have been developed for this situation in particular. About results, well, we are now the 4th trial in the greenhouse. Tomorrow morning you will see the 2nd winter trial. We had 2 summer trials, spring-summer trials. I don't have specific values here. Tomorrow, for those of you that will come, you will have posters inside the greenhouse with specifics on results for the meteorological comparison, for agronomic production. And so we know that we have good results for onion, some of the production not so good. Courgette is still something that we don't know what's happening. And curiously, raspberries seems to be bigger under PVs, but this is still under analysis, and we need to confirm a lot of the results. Regarding the management of energy resources, so basically we began by the basics, and I have 2 former professors in the room, so I need to behave. We did energy audits, we identified most relevant loads. We began by exploring shifting, controlling without disrupting services. We did, as Professor Martins said, very well-informed human active control, okay? For afterwards install proper automated systems that could do the automation by itself, but always controlled by persons. Why? Because in these ecosystems, a lot of things happened. Water pumps just disconnect, and we have, this calls for also things that we don't usually talk about, which is redundancy of systems to make the automated systems more reliable. I have here some results on the savings and on the increase of self-sufficiency that we were able to achieve between 23 and 24. And there was a significant improvement on the self-sufficiency of this energy ecosystem. Okay? And we had also a really significant reduction of costs, although in 25, this is not the full year, of course. Another thing that most of time no one talks about are the energy management systems that are required to do these kind of things, and the interoperability that we need to have between platforms, because in this ecosystem I have PV panels from 3 suppliers, and these platforms don't speak with each other. So I had to develop my own platform to integrate DSO information and all the production from the different PV suppliers, and also to integrate the interface in which I can control loads. I'm not sure if it will be possible tomorrow to show you, but through this black platform we are already able to directly control loads. And potentially some weeks, months from now, put there some intelligent algorithms that can automate the system, but always, and I would like to call your attention to this, with human supervision, because in this kind of systems we need that. Some challenges that I leave, I'm not listing them all, but I would like to stress the energy efficiency first principle. Most of the things that we began to do were about energy efficiency, and there are some still to be solved. Another thing that I like to stress, it was the distrust on new technologies. Someone this morning, I think it was you, Barry, the need for cross literacies, cross knowledge exchange between energy experts and agronomic experts. It's needed. And we are still facing bureaucracy, administrative challenges. We need business models, tailored solutions. I was talking with Nuno in the coffee break, and he was telling me we are still figuring out the best business model to present farmers. It's a reality. Farmers need a good business models and simple solutions. And so there are a lot of challenges, and they have different dimensions which are not technical, because here, and I just want to stress this, it's not only about providing technology, because it will not be sufficient. Just to conclude, our lessons on this pilot are that it's important to have, agrivoltaics can serve to give farms energy self-sufficiency, and they can bring positive synergistic effects on production, such as Miguel showed, and also Gonçalo. Ours are still to be studied. Integrated management of energy resources are needed, and Eric showed that in Portugal PV projects are mostly driven by energy players, and the focus is not farming, is not agricultural production, and this is a concern, because we need to focus on the energy management of that ecosystem. Just to end, literacy, and today, this morning, someone said we need to bring energy education to agronomic degrees. Totally agree. We still have that challenge to solve here. And I have, I don't know how many professors. I have the president, the now president of the school there, seated, so he's listening. We need to incorporate the energy topic in the degrees of agronomic and vice versa. Okay? If you need more information on the project, a lot of videos, a lot of material is on the website, and I invite you to come tomorrow and know more details on the project. Thank you. They will do differently, so probably we'll do a Portuguese
We
book.
have here about animal production only land races. That is mainly that animals are typical from Portugal. We don't have exotic animals from France or from not very good for milk production to cheese factories, but it's very good to wool and to meat.
One of the reasons why we have some of the containers full of water, bring it to show innovations, to show something different.
The first one was more or less a test. So if we consider all of them, there were 4. The first one was more or less a test for us to discover the methodologies that would better apply to the system.
Okay, do you have water in the system? Is the pumping function without water?